6, 6, 6. I wonder why I roll like that, because I don't suck at this game, unlike you do, which is why I'm here to teach you how to not suck at this game. And one of the things of not sucking when playing a Necron army is to pick fast attack choices that don't suck. Pick up on that yet? So let's go over the fast attack. We have the Canoptech Wraiths, the Canoptech Scarabs, the Tomb Blades, and the Necron Destroyers. Oh, the beloved. Let's start with one of the best fast attack units in the Codex, possibly the best unit in the Codex, period. Canoptech Wraiths. So coming in at a base of 35 points, these things are amazing. They are strength 6. They have 2 wounds each. They have a 3-up invulnerable save. They have a 12-inch move. They ignore terrain. You can give them a war gear that anything in base to base will completely make them down to initiative 1 for that combat, unless there's a gay person playing Grey Knight who has halberds and is like, oh, we still strike before you. But Grey Knight players are gay. We all know that. So, what can you give them? You can give them the Whip Coil, which is what I just described to you. You can give them the Particle Caster, which is, it's a decent choice. It's a strength 6, like AP 4 or 5, like weapon with a 12-inch range. It's alright. You can also give them a Transdimensional Beamer, which I don't care what you're thinking about wound allocation. Don't give them this. It's a heavy weapon. When are they ever going to want to use it, honestly? Now, Particle Casters and Whip Coils and having one with nothing is good for the sake of wound allocation, which is what I was just talking about. So, what you normally have in a squad of 6 Wraiths is you'd have 3 with Whip Coils, 1 with a Particle Caster, and 2 blank ones. The reason is, whenever you start getting hit with las cannons or anything higher than like strength 7, you're going to want to put it on the Particle Caster and the 2 normal dudes, because they're not valuable. Whip Coils are the most amazing thing Wraiths can take, which is why when they get into close combat, they're so darn hard to kill. Because if you have something, which normally everything's higher than Initiative 2, that has a power weapon, your Wraiths don't care. They're like, oh, now you're Initiative 1. And they start stabbing the crap out of you with their, like, on the charge 4, Strength 6 rending attacks. They're very good. And Strength 6 rending, it also means they can kill vehicles, and it's awesome. And their rule, like, what's it called? Yeah. Wraith Flight? I don't know what the name is in the new Codex. Wraith Flight makes them ignore difficult and dangerous terrain, so they don't even need grenades. They will just charge the crap out of you and be perfectly fine, and they will still kick the crap out of you, even though they're Initiative 2, so terrain wouldn't really matter much to them. These guys work really well with things like Imotech and 2 Solar Pulses, because they need to get up to people while not being shot at. Because things like las cannons and meltas and anything strength 8 or higher, if you fail 1 3-up save, you will be very sad. Because if you give them a Whip Coil, that's 45 points down the drain. It's not very fun. So that's why if you are playing against someone like, you know, Grey Knights or someone with a lot of melt or anything with a lot of strength 8 like Dark Eldar with their lances, try and keep them out of line of sight. I know with the new models coming out, they're freaking huge in case you haven't seen them yet. You should probably watch Orcs Warhammer 40k's video on them. It shows them there. They are big models. And it can be hard to hide them, but try and use line of sight blocking terrain to your best like advantage. If you're like me, you're probably going to build them like really like this for some reason just because you're a dick. And everyone knows dicks win games. Lots of games. So Wraiths, definitely take them, at least 1 if not 2 squads in your army. If you do have 2, I would advise Solar Pulses and Imotech because you really don't want them being shot at. Next, Canoptech Scarabs. I freaking love these guys because they're absolutely hilarious. Canoptech Scarabs are relatively cheap, 45 for 3 bases, and when you build up their bases, you will get a whopping 10 if you make all the available upgrades to their base size. What this gives them is a really, really high chance of killing Land Raiders, even though they're these little, 4 attacks each, strength 3 models, because of Entropic Strike. I'm sure you know what that does by now if you're watching these videos about Necrons, but in case you don't, let me tell you. If you hit a vehicle, then on a 4-up, the armor on all of its facings goes down by 1. So if you can hit a Land Raider, I don't know, 10 times, half of those, 5 Entropic Strike hits, the Land Raider is now armor 9 on all of its facings, which is hilarious, in case you haven't realized yet. Then after that, you get to roll for Armor Pen, so strength 3 versus Armor 9. You can actually glance it on 6s. Not the best odds. For the next round of combat, if it even survives, even if it kills all your Scarabs, now you're like, I'm assuming you're going to have Lances, unless you're stupid. We'll automatically glance it. On a 2-up, you'll penetrate it, and it'll die pretty darn fast. If you don't, what am I trying to say here? Most of the time, your Scarabs will kill stuff. Lots of stuff. Lots of vehicles. Anything with a vehicle armor value will hate you. Really, really badly. May not have given them the best explanation just there, but I should definitely tell you this. They are swarms, which means they are vulnerable to blast and template weapons. These guys absolutely hate flamethrowers, because they ignore their cover, which would normally be 3-up because they're a swarm, and they ignore, well, they take double wounds from it. So if it's a strength 6 flamer, and you see one, don't bring these guys anywhere near it. If you see a Land Raider with Flamestorm cannons, you better be really damn confident that you can kill it if you bring your Scarabs anywhere near that thing. Because if you don't, it will kill you the next turn. It's happened to me, and I was very sad. One thing that is very useful with these guys, if you bring 10 of them and you surround any type of vehicle with them, you will kill everyone inside if you reduce all of its armor to 0, because of how it works. If any of its facings is reduced to 0, it's wrecked. It's not exploded, it's wrecked, which means everyone has to try and get out. Which, according to the FAQ, the disembarkation is movement. They can't do that if Scarabs are surrounding it. Therefore, they all die. It's really funny. Next, we have Tomb Blades. These guys are alright. They're kind of hard to use in the list effectively, unless you give them a certain weapon, which is called the Particle Beamer. It's a small blast weapon, strength something, AP something. I really don't use these guys, so I don't know. If you take enough of them and give them the upgrades like Nebuloscopes, Ballistic Skill 5, and their Shadow Looms and Shield Vans, you can put down a lot of small blast templates a turn. Great against Horde, a lot of anti-infantry, but personally I just think Scarab and Wraith spots are too valuable to give up. So personally, I wouldn't take these dudes, and their models look absolutely stupid, let's be honest here. Necron Destroyers. I actually love these guys despite how much people hate them, and I don't understand why people hate them. They are Strength 5 AP 3 guns. 3. They will kill Space Marines. They will kill, like, Wraith Lords. They will kill Eldar, like, bike units, whatever the hell they're called. They are so good, and I don't know why people don't take them. I bring 2 squads of 5 in all of my games, and they absolutely dominate people. In my opinion, I would not recommend upgrading any of them to Heavy Destroyers. I think you have much better anti-tank options than that. If you do that, please bring a Triarch Stalker with them. They really like twin linking when they're only 3 shots a unit. Because for those of you who don't know, only 3 of them can be upgraded to Heavy Destroyers in a Destroyer unit, which is a Strength 9 AP 2, 36 inch range, Heavy Gauss Cannon. Come on, we've been over this with the Triarch Stalker, and I know you watched that video, because I told you to, and you do what I say. So, they also have, their jump infantry now, they're not jet bikes, blah blah blah, but it does give them an effective range of 36 inches, because unlike the last Codex, their Gauss Cannon has gone down to a 24 inch range. However, they got the AP 3, but they also lost a strength point, down from strength 6 to 5, and they also lost a shot. It's now only 2 shots each. But still, if you bring a squad of 5, having 10 strength 5 AP 3 shots will really hurt any Marine unit out of cover. I have wiped strike squads off the board in 1 turn of shooting just from 1 unit, and it is awesome. I would actually recommend these guys. Don't listen to everyone else. So, highlights of fast attack, Wraiths at number 1, Destroyers at number 2, Scarabs probably at number 3. It depends what you're looking for. If you don't have any anti-tank, this list may change. If you don't have any anti-infantry, this list may change. It's really up to you, but fast attack is very, very valuable to the Necrons, so think very hard about what you want to take in your list before you decide. That's the fast attack. Next, we're going to be going over heavy support, which will be in the next video, somewhere around here, on the sidebar, next to all your cat videos. I know you watch that stuff.